Welcome back to the Webby and O'Neill channel. Jadon Sancho, Rashford and Antony, it looks like they're all returning for Manchester United, but for how long? Get involved, have your say in the comment section, and don't forget to leave a like on today's video, as you know it's much appreciated. That news yesterday that Sancho's returning to Manchester United did not go down well in the Manchester United fan base.
No, it didn't go down well in the United fan base, but it certainly did not go down well here. My reaction to Jadon Sancho for a long time is he just blows me mind with his attitude and everything else like that. This is a big blow to the jugglers inside Man United who deal with the finances. And you look at Marcus Rashford, that certainly is a major problem. So people expecting money to come in from sales, it's clear. Very, very clear what the problem is with these players. And we've said it for a long time. Over-inflated wages, that is the problem.
We've always been confident that Man United have the money in the bank to go and get free signings at the start of this transfer window, but we need more players in, as a lot of people know out there. People keep talking about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players that they want to bring in, but for me, realistically, to bring any more than 3 players in, we have to ship out the players like Jadon Sancho, Rashford and Antony to get some money in. Can we get transfer fees for them 3 players?
I think the reality was stark yesterday in the comment from Chelsea. They're not willing to pay his wages, and Sancho himself isn't willing to come down. And that's the modern footballer now. Once they're paid lots of money, they ain't changing, and their attitude, especially Jadon Sancho's, is absolutely diabolical. But the reality of life is overinflated wages, these players on too much money. But whose fault's that? That's Man United's fault. You know, I can't blame the players, to be honest with you. I look at Man United, how the club was run. Everything inside United is just toxic. And under the leadership of Woodward, everyone else like that, these wages were just given out just like that. And we are now suffering. And Ruben Amorim is going to suffer because these players will not be sold. Possible loan deals, if that can be worked out.
Yeah, all fans, I think, just want him permanently off the books, and we all do think it'll benefit us in the transfer window this summer by recruiting more players. So fingers crossed. They've got Jadon Sancho still a year left on his contract at Manchester United. I think Rashford's got 3 years. The likes of Luke Shaw as well. I mean, I think that's 2 years left on his deal. The only one I feel really optimistic about getting a permanent transfer fee for, though, is Antony.
Yeah, well, it's his form. He's done really, really well. So he's in the shop window and he's performed well. So a transfer fee, but how much? People are talking out there. There is reports 25 to 40 million. 40 million is optimistic, to be honest with you, because we're a selling club. We need the money. Everybody else out there, they know that. So Antony, his wages, I don't think it'll be too big of a problem. But I just look, maybe 25 to 40 million is the roundabout figure we'll get for him. But what will that do for the club? That'll just go and paying off the debts. And that's the major, major problem when money comes into this club and we are absolutely skint.
I mean,
Skint.
yeah, well, like I say, I think there's money there to get the free transfers in. If you look at Mbumo, positive news, starting talks there. You know, Delap, we did go for. He was going to be in the mix with the 3 that we was looking at, but obviously he chose Chelsea. But the freedom fighter that is Jadon Sancho, I mean, there's not even any news reports coming out that even a club in Saudi want to take him. So,
well, you've just got to look at the people inside United. They've got to get down to work now. And I do believe they've known for a while that Jadon Sancho, with his wage demands, won't come down. Me personally, I think the only option they'll be working on, and it won't be a sale, will be a loan deal. And there you go again, paying out half his wages or maybe even more, depending on who he ends up going on a loan. Because I don't see any other way of getting Jadon Sancho out.
not got the answers to Jadon Sancho where his next move will be. Even Marcus Rashford, is he in dream world thinking that he can secure a move to Barcelona? I mean, I have got confidence in the regime and the people behind the scenes that have been coming into Manchester United in the last 12 months that they will get deals done for these players. But like we keep going back to, hopefully they can get some permanent transfer fees for some of these players to give Ruben Amorim the much needed backing he needs in this summer.
I think all you can say on Marcus Rashford is it'll be a loan deal. I don't think anybody, and the stark reality yesterday with Sancho, I'm not coming down in my wage demands. I want my full wages. The same with Marcus Rashford. Well, you're not going to get £40 million and pay ridiculous £350,000 for Marcus Rashford. No one's going to do that because he hasn't really performed on the pitch. Just like Jadon Sancho. I look at the reaction to Jadon Sancho, and it's the same from United fans. They couldn't care less. That's the reaction from Chelsea fans. So he didn't turn it up at Chelsea. Did Marcus Rashford turn it up at Aston Villa? Certainly not, in my opinion. But I just look at it. The biggest talking point there has to be Garnacho. What will we get for him? That, to me, is the only real option where we're going to get a decent transfer fee. And then people out there, the biggest talking point about United fans is sell Onana. There's not many people speaking up for Onana. That's the talking point. Garnacho and Onana. Get money for them, get them out, bring them in. But if Onana goes, who do you bring in? Where's the money for it? Obviously, there's a talking point, Martinez. But hey, let's just wait and see.
Yeah, there has been quite a lot of talks and rumours around Martinez from Aston Villa coming in, but I've not seen much real credible sources mentioning anything that could be a possible move there. And to me, when I'm listening to Ruben Amorim, he's the person that I'm always looking to, for any
Yeah.
signs of where he's looking to do movement, any transfer dealings. And he's always very calm on Onana, considering Onana himself hasn't been very calm in a lot of the matches last season and the season before.
Yeah, well, Onana, I've said it time and time again. I don't think United will get rid of him this summer. I think they'll keep him. The same with Højlund, even though there is reports of Højlund looking elsewhere with his agent. But I just look at Amorim. He has got a very, very hard job this summer. And lots of people are talking, okay? Yes, we're getting signings in. And Mbumo, we've got Kuna. Obviously, we want another player out there, what's being looked at. But hey, let me tell you, he's got a very, very difficult job. This isn't going to be turned round with the couple of new signings, what we're going to get. You've got to remember, these players who have been here for 4 years, some under Ollie, some under Eric Ten Hag, the system's changing. Some of these players, what are in this squad, are just baffled or just don't care because they're just swapping and changes, tactics and everything. And he's got to turn it round, Ruben Amorim, this summer. And it's going to be very hard. And this season is going to be very hard. People are optimistic. Oh, we're going to do this and that. Listen, you need to temper it. I'm telling you, I look at this squad, I look at what's coming in, and I look at the difficulties going ahead. Ruben Amorim has got a summer and he's got to work on these players. But most of all, he's got to work on the culture and the attitude of this squad and this club. And he can't turn it round in one summer.
Yeah, I would expect, if we do come to the point of the end of the actual transfer window, is it 1st of September, and we've still got the likes of Sancho and Rashford still at Manchester United.
I dread to think that, son.
I can't see Ruben Amorim trying to integrate them two players back into a match day squad. I think they actually will be told to go and train alone or away from Carrington. I actually do think it'll be extreme as that, because I do think he wants to work with a smaller squad. And the culture that you mentioned, these players are part of the problem in the past of where Manchester United are right now, not just financially, but on the pitch. And we're still paying the price for that. For me, like I say, I've still got confidence in the lads in the background, Ineos that you might call them, that they can get deals done for certain players. Have I got the answers for it? No, I've not, but that's what they're paid for. And I do have confidence behind them and the backing that they will get some of these players out so we can get another 1 or 2 transfers in on top of the 3 that we expect.
I think what fans would want to hear if things aren't moving with Sancho and especially Rashford is Amorim to come out and say, hey, you don't find a club, you will be away from this squad working on your own. So that sends a message, but a clear message that Ruben Amorim is in charge. These players have to go out. And if they don't go out and they don't find a club themselves or United can't offload them, they will be expelled from the squad. And he has to make it clear. Things have to change and he is going to be ruthless. That's what I want to see from Ruben Amorim. I don't expect a quick turnaround. I don't expect going into the season we'll get off to a flying start. It will be a struggle. But me, I'm sticking with Ruben Amorim all the way, because the job he's got illustrates how difficult it is when players are on big wages like Sancho and Rashford, and there's their attitude. The attitude is no way the right way to be for a footballer. They're just interested in money, and that's the culture, and that's the problem we've got.
I do believe Rashford will find a club this summer. I just don't think it'll be a permanent transfer, more likely on a loan deal. The same probably with Antony, but Jadon Sancho, I would not be surprised if he's still a Manchester United player when that transfer window shuts on the 1st of September, because the lad literally has no shame, in my opinion, and will just sit there training alone, picking up them wages week in, week out until that contract expires next summer. But yeah, I'd just like to thank you all for joining us today. Just thought you'd do a bit of a brief overview on the latest news, Sancho coming back to Manchester United, and what that could possibly mean for actually Ruben Amorim's transfer funds going into this summer, about buying players, getting players in. But as we all know, we need to get a lot of players out this summer just to give him that extra boost in this summer's transfer market by getting some of the players in. And let's hope the lads in the background can get that done for Amorim.
I just look at it, the only sellable player on the books at the moment being talked about is Garnacho, because when you talk about Onana, really, if he did go, if Ruben Amorim did get rid of him, then what would you really get for it? Not much. There is not much money coming into this club. So just sit on your hands and let's just hope that Ruben Amorim and the men in suits start the work and get these people out and get some people in.
Cunha in and Buemo as well. You know, talks are advancing by the sounds of it, and hopefully we get some positive news by the end of this week, and we can also start seeing some players just shipped out. I mean, we've been waiting for it for a long, long time, and you know, let's hope Ruben Amorim, like I say, gets that boost and a much needed one this summer by getting some of these players out. And yeah, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today, getting involved as usual. Smash a like on today's video to help support the channel, and we'll be back in the next one, so come and join us.
Thank you.